Okay, so just some demo here, wrapping your machine clearly, needle in. I just want to talk a little bit about our technique on the zhuzhing. And I like my needle out about thickness of about a nickel on its side or a dime, depending. If you have a lot of ink that you need to get in there, then just do it shorter. If you have a lot of hair to go through, you can have your needle out longer. It's just a preference, but you do need it a little bit close enough so that the ink will stay on the needle, okay? Because it's a 1 point, so there's not a lot of ability for the ink to stay on there because it's only 1 point. I like to do double skins if you can, because then it feels more like skin. You don't get the vibration from the table. And we'll go ahead and put a little ink in here. Now, as far as the thickness of the ink, I would say medium consistency where it's not too gooey, but it's also not too thin. You don't want it running out. And again, I prefer as a beginner that you put it on here and not on your finger because you have to get used to a lot of things going on. So I don't recommend having it on a finger cup. But having the finger cut will certainly help you remember to keep your finger up, okay? Now another trick about the finger cut is many people do it and they put it on this way and then they go like this and look at how the angle of it is, right? So what you want to do is when you're thinking of this, put it like this, but then tilt it inward a little bit so that when you're really sitting this way, it actually stays straight up and down. You can even tilt it a little bit more, a little trick like that. So that way you're not spilling it. So you're really going to put it, but I put it on first, then I put the ink in because if I were to put it on this way and walk around and do whatever and I had ink in it, then it would be spilling all over. So I put this on and then when I'm ready to go, then I put the ink in, so now we're ready. Okay, so on the hand position again, if you think about your hand position for doing the zhuzhing, you want to have your stretch fingers right here, very important. I call it the duck, right? So you're going to pull that skin apart. And this is how you're going to work on a human being. You can't do it any other way. So on a human, your pinky's going to rest on people's faces. You're going to use these, but for stretching, you're always really going to use these two right here. They're your strong stretch muscles. So you always want to get in the habit of using them and making sure that you're using them while you're doing this technique. The other thing to note is where students get kind of messed up is they start up way up here. This is what you don't do. So you put an X over that. We don't way up here. You don't have the control way up here as you do down here. So it's counterintuitive to be closer to the needle, but to do the zhuzhing technique, you want your finger right on that plastic. Okay, that's what gives you that control and the effortless movement. The other thing is curl your pinky finger under when you're working on flat skin, because then you can put all the weight on this bone. You don't want to do this. You're going to wear out your pinky. You're going to get tendinitis. It's going to be awful. If you do hours of drills, it's got to feel like no effort. Like when I do this, I can feel tension in my pinky, so we definitely don't want to do this in drilling. When I'm on a human though, I will use my pinky, okay, because I have an angle, but I'm only going to be there for a shorter time. When you're drilling on skin, you could be hours and hours of drilling, okay? So I recommend is if you take it and you just sit like you would normally hold a pen and then you flip it over, you're going to be in a good position. So from here, flip, okay? It'll automatically put you in the right position. Now, one thing to note, notice my finger right here on this part, not on the open, so it's right there close. The other part of it's resting right here on this knuckle. And then really this knuckle is pinching into that part of my knuckle. So it's really a pinch holding this thing. It's not really a grab. So if you're doing this, you're wrong. Okay, if you see that thumb wrapping around, no, this is not it, okay? Look at my whole hand moving. I couldn't even handle an hour of that without feeling sore. Okay, plus you're gonna get scratchy movements. You're not gonna get the light pedally movement. So this is a no. So remember, if you see your machine drifting like this, you're off. If this is starting to go 45 degrees. It needs to be up like this. Okay, whatever the surface of the skin you're working on, it needs to be straight up and down. If you're on a curved surface, you're going to be this way, but it's always 90 degrees to whatever surface you're on. So if you're on an apple, right? So if I take this and I'm here, I'm going to be 90 degrees to the round surface. So my hand position will look different when I'm on a human. And I think that's what throws some beginners off, is they're seeing us on humans and they think, oh, they're 45 degrees. No, it's because we're 90 degrees to the skin surface. When you're practicing on flat skin, you have to make it artificially 90 degrees. It's going to feel weird, but it gives you that practice and makes you be good. And then you're going to put the weight on your knuckle here and you're going to isolate, okay? So again, this direction, And then this finger kicks it out. This way, this way. Now you have a cordless machine, you don't have to worry about this cord. This cord's really, really light, so it doesn't bother me. But you want to have zhu, and then kick it out. Zhu, kick it out. But notice my thumb. I can do this all day. I could even just be sleeping and go like this, and I'm not going to have any effort in my hand. I'm not going to have any tension in my hand. It's free. So I can do this all day. La, 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 la. But if I was going like this, look at how much energy I'm expending, right? So that's a no. So watch yourself if you go in like this. Plus you're going to see the lines being heavy. So I'm going to show you what the lines look like when you're not supposed to. I'm going to put a little X. Do not do this, okay? So this is not what it is. It's almost hard for me to even do it. This is what it's not. Okay, that's not it. Even if you're seeing pixels, that's still not it. Now this is what it is. Okay. So notice the difference. You notice the difference in the sound? So I want you guys to notice the sound difference when it's right. If you notice my thumb, notice what's moving only is my front finger. I'm pulling in one direction back. Now hear the sound difference when I'm doing it the wrong way. If you hear that, that's wrong. Okay, so there's the difference. So it should be like this. And the other thing I notice is what it isn't come in and then grab just the end. It's not like that. That's not it either. Okay? The other thing it's not hit hard and lift off and get these little, it's hard for me to do, but you get these little hot spots on the front. Like that. So you don't want to just lift off. You want to be longer strokes, smooth all the way. The goal is to get it to go in the skin and out the skin at the same tempo. Zh, 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 zh. Not zh, 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 zh. It's zh, 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 zh. And then when you get better, you can go faster. Zh, 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 zh. But you notice you're doing a full swipe. Now, there are times when you're going to need little short ones, right? Like little choppy ones for little areas, but you're still doing the same thing. Zh, 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 zh. But I'm still going from beginning to end. It's in and out. So think of it going in and out at the same kind of tempo. Not in, out, and certainly not in and lifting up. Okay, so it's zh, 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 zh when you're faster. And you want to see those pixelations. Okay, you see the difference between the lines and the pixelations. Now you're still seeing dots, but they look different, don't they? They look much more line work. That's not what we're going for. So again, for this direction, we're going to be pulling. And the way, now look at how long I stay in one area. Now I'm going to show you a couple things to look for too is the dots. I'm going up and then I'm coming back down. Going back up and I'm coming back down. I want to fill the area with the dots. I'm not trying to make it dotty. I'm using the pixelations to get a nice soft shade. But I also don't want it, I want it to be smooth, right? I want it to build up. Now let's talk about cross-hatching. So let's say this is, let's pretend this is an area of my lip. So this is the lip that I have to do and I need to fill it in. So cross-hatching starts off with one direction. It goes like this. It goes this direction. Okay. Then from that line it's going to go that direction. It's going to go that direction, and I might even go this direction. Okay, that's what cross-hatching is. So I'm going to start off, now look, notice I turn my skin, So I'm always going this way or that way. What I don't want to see, another no, you don't want to do it, I don't want to see sideways. Because then you guys start doing this with your hand. That's not it, okay? If you need to go one direction, turn the skin, turn the person, get it so you're still going zhu-zhu, 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 zhu-zhu. Now there's one exception when you're doing the curve over of the brow. That's where you have to do a little bit of an eyelash, but it's still, I'm still going zhu-zhu, zhu-zhu, but I'm doing it, the curve is actually in the flow. I'm not curving my hand, okay? So we don't ever want to curve our hand. All right, so back to this. So if I wanted to fill this in on the lip edge, I'm going to start at the edge. I'm going to come in, stay right at that edge work, come in, drift in. Go right to the edge of that line. We don't ever want to see the edge work of this. So that's one direction, right? That's that one direction first right here that I just did. Now I'm going to do the one straight up. So I'm going to turn my skin. This is called cross hatching. I'm going to come in this way. Get a little shadow on my light there, so that's why. Now, it may look like I'm kind of going out, but that's just a drop of the ink. I'm really trying to grab that line. So that's another direction called cross hatching. We do this in great detail in the lip video. Then I'm going to, so I've done this direction now, I've done that direction, now I'm going to do the corner side direction. This way. Now I might do one full pass in one direction, then come back and do my second full pass in another. This is later, this is more for the lips. So I'm cross hatching over that middle area. I'm just going to show you what cross hatching, how it can build up a really nice color. So I can maybe go this way now. And I would be doing this very quickly as I'm going along, but I'm just breaking it out so that you guys can see what I mean when I say practicing or cross hatching. You'll be like, Dawn, I can't really see anything in there. You have to trust your needle that it's doing it. That's why you practice, practice, practice. Because when you're working on people, you can't be like, is my needle going in? You want to be well past that stage, okay? We don't want to be starting our practice on people. We want to be finishing our practice on people, not starting it on people. Always practice. That's why these practice skins are here. Okay, so let's take a look at that. Remember when you're cleaning, spray the skin, not your baby wipe. Turn it over in a quarter like this. Now clearly we would do more buildup, but you can see that the area that I'm trying to cross hatch mainly right here is a square, is got shading in it. Okay? Now these skins are a little more rubbery, so they tend to not hold as easy as some of the other practice skins. But this shows you the goal of building up colors is this area that I was cross hatching right here. And then what I would do is I would wipe it and then I would go back in. Does that help, you guys? A little bit? Okay, so double your skins. I think I'm done anyway, so it doesn't matter. And then building up. Now on the videos that I have, I've got a whole long, you drill along with me. The other thing to note about pixels, not so great on this skin, but you really want it to see like dots. So if you're seeing like this, where it's just really blotchy, you're going too fast for your needle. So either speed up your needle or slow down your hand a little bit. You want to get, with this skin, because I find that the tougher the skin, the more speed you need to get the pixels. So if you're noticing it being a little blotchy, speed up your needle on the tougher skin and you will see more of the dots. Okay. All right, that should be it. It was good.